I love seeing Rav Shay and Rina walk. They walk with purpose. They pitch the baby carriage when they have a baby carriage. To me, it just shows it's Rav Shay and Rina, but it's Rav Shay and Rina. They're still walking, husband and wife with their kid in a baby carriage in the neighborhood.
There we were, Rabbi Schachter and myself, on a visit to Washington, D.C. with Mia Shem and her family, sitting in the halls of Congress, around the table with congressional leaders. And it was there I sort of, to myself, just thought how incredible it is that two Rabbanim from a shul in Nassau County in Long Island were here in the halls of government advocating on behalf of Achinu B'nai Yisrael, on behalf of the hostages who are still suffering in the tunnels of Gaza. And as I looked on Rabbi Schachter at the table, I really understood where he has come all these years and to the person and the persona as a rabbi, the leader that he has developed into.
I remember before his bar mitzvah, he made up his mind he wants to finish all of Mishnayos. So he would keep track of what he learned already. And when we would be waiting in the airport for an airplane or something, he would go over to someone who had a beard. Could you teach me this Mishnah? Could you teach me the other Mishnah? And then once in the middle of lunch, I think it was, they had him stand up on one of the chairs and he made us see him.
He was the only one of all 9 kids who made the decision to sit at my father's feet for 10, 15 years. And when you have a front row seat for that many years, it's not something you could pick up in school. There's no smicha program that could teach you that.
I first met Rav Shay when he was probably 12 years old, running around the YIW base medrash, saying Mishnayos Bal Peh and hacking people who were a few years older.
I first met Rav Shay when I was in his father's shir in YU. In fact, I can share with you an incredible picture I have from a Purim Chagiga at YU in which a young Rav Shay is on my shoulders as a young boy. That picture is a harsh reminder of the age gap between us.
Many years ago, Shay was learning in the mirror, and he just gave me a call and asked me whether he could come to me for Shabbos. I think that is our first interaction, and I said, please come. We talked on learning, and we talked about everything. And I already saw then that this young man has potential. This young man has greatness.
10 years ago, we decided to take it to the next level by having Rabbi Shay and Rina Schachter join as our Rosh Beis Medrash.
The vision of Rabbi Axelrod, Rabbi Billet, the leadership of Young Israel of Woodmere, in creating this model and bringing in a person of the outstanding caliber of Rav Shay to build a Beit Midrash program is a model for others to follow.
I remember him coming home and telling us, the Young Israel is hiring somebody who's a superstar. You're going to love him, and he and his wife are just amazing.
I first met Rav Shay in shul. I remember when I first heard him speak, I wasn't sure whether he was there as our new assistant rabbi or I was at his bar mitzvah.
It was kind of wild. It was March 15th. My daughter woke up and said, I think I need to get married today. I called Rav Shay and Rina. Rav Shay came right over, sat down with us, figured out how to make a wedding in 5 hours. We had the entire Schachter team helping us. They found us a tent to make the wedding in. They, got us a caterer. We had a beautiful wedding in about 5 hours, thanks to really Rav Shay and Rina.
The role models of Chesed to an extreme degree. The role models of Torah to an extreme degree. The role models of Midos Tovos to an extreme degree. We emulate them, we strive to be like them.
Something I learned from both parents is patience. Just be able to adapt to any person, any character you'll ever meet, and any personality that someone has.
They're extraordinary people, but they're also so down to earth and relatable, and that's part of what makes them so extraordinary.
Their whole family is just a very important part of and a mainstay fabric within the community.
So I first met Rabbi Schachter and Rina in Camp Simcha. I was born without a uterus, and this was something that was very, very private, very personal. I just remember finding myself one day very, very just frustrated, confused. Like, what does Hashem want for me? What is my future looking like? I don't know what to do. His reaction was like one of the first that I've ever gotten where it felt like this isn't the end of the world. Like, you are going to have a future and things could turn out okay.
The Young Israel Woodmere is a Makom Torah for our community and the world. 36 shiurim per week, 144 classes per month, over 1,700 shiurim a year, attended by YIW and community members, with thousands of individuals listening to our YIW Torah classes across the globe. One area of Torah study that has been cultivated by Rabbi Schachter is the women's Torah learning. His Tuesday morning women's shiur afford women the opportunity to engage in a meaningful Talmud Torah experience that impacts their lives.
I've been a Talmud of Harav Hershel Schachter Shlita for over 40 years, and since I've heard sometimes shiurim from both Harav Schachter Shlita and Rav Shai Schachter Shlita, when I close my eyes and listen to his shiurim, I hear and see his father. That to me is the greatest praise.
When he speaks about himself also. He'll say, I'm not just talking to you. He's also struggling with, the challenges or the thoughts that the people in his kahila are struggling with too.
TJJ for Moms deal with women that have never had any connection to Orthodoxy at all. Women have been welcomed many times to his Tuesday morning shiur, and he publicly will announce, thank you so much for the TJJ moms who are here today. We're talking about, I'm gonna leave Pilates class at 9 a.m. and drive the 30 minutes so I could be on time, and I'm gonna wear something what we call from pool to shul, because I want to hear Rav Shai.
Rav Shai has been a real bridge, whether Rav Shai is in LA or whether he's here in Israel. Rav Shai has succeeded at connecting all the different communities.
Rav Shai came in as the Rav of Camp Simcha, and he joined us with his family, his beautiful family. His concentration during camp is every single one of the campers and staff members. But you also see every single minute that he's there, that his kahila, that his shul is on the forefront of his mind. He'll come to me and he'll say to me, Rifki, could you imagine this story? Could you imagine what just happened? He says, when I tell this to my shul members, when I share this with my shul, they're gonna be blown away.
One of the things that makes our shul very unique is that we're blessed not only with a rabbinate of multiple rabbis, but we have multiple rebbitzins. And each one of our Young Israel Women rebbitzins brings something different and offers something special to the shul community.
My younger girls, they just see Rina as such a wonderful, beautiful mom. They see the boys davening at shul, singing. They just look up to her like she made this beautiful family. They're just in awe of her.
Rav Shai is a powerhouse, but it shouldn't be underestimated that he couldn't do and be who he is without Rina. And that's not the classic, typical, behind every great man is a woman. Side by side is a great man and a great woman who are partners in making this difference, in having this impact. They deserve all, not only our recognition, which they don't want, but our gratitude, which they deserve.
I'll just be going about my day and I get a phone call and it's Rina Schachter. And she's just calling to check in and see how I'm doing and just to schmooze and, makes it as if like she has nothing else to do other than to just check in with me.
I learn all the time from Rina. She's a doer. So she doesn't say a lot. She never wants her name out there, but she does a lot behind the scenes. And nothing is too much. Nothing is overwhelming. And she just gets it done.
This past summer, we had the opportunity to work at the carnival at Camp Simcha that Rina puts on. It was her idea. She got the whole thing running. She stages the whole thing. She sources the whole thing. She gets all the volunteers to work it. What's incredible is the joy that it puts on the faces of these campers. You've never seen anything like it.
It was a story that Bill and Hillary Clinton were driving once and their car broke down or something. The car ended up at the mechanic. And Hillary goes in and realizes that the mechanic is a guy that she dated. And she's chuckling and they're catching up on life and this and that, and then they get back into the car to leave, and she tells Bill, I dated that guy. And Bill says, you could have been married to a mechanic. And she said, no, if I married him, he would have been the president of the United States. So that's kind of the story I think is very apropos here. I'm not saying Shay would have been a mechanic, but he is who he is very, very much due to Rina's support.
When the 3 boys were kidnapped and then they were found to be killed, so he went by plane to be Menachem Ovel by the families to represent the shul. And the stewardess asked him, "How long are you going to Eretz Yisrael?" He says, "Only for 2 days." So the stewardess was so excited. She went on the loudspeaker and she said, "We're going to be safe. We have a shliach mitzvah here. A young rabbi from America is going to be Menachem Ovel, so we're all going to be safe." So people, and she asked all the people to please come and say hello to the rabbi, give the rabbi encouragement. So people came over, and someone wanted to do something for the boys. He said he was interested in wearing tefillin. He never wore tefillin before, so someone lent him a pair of tefillin. And then another person was there. He said, "If you promise to wear tefillin every day, when you come back to America, you have a pair of tefillin in the mail." So the man promised to wear tefillin every day. So this fellow sent him a pair of tefillin, a matana pair of tefillin. That was his, I think, the beginning of his becoming world famous.
Rav Shay and I actually took a trip together when Rav Leo D., his wife and 2 daughters, Hashem Yikom Damam, were so brutally murdered in a horrific terror event.
Thousands of mourners gather for the funeral of Lucy D., a family of 7, now a family of 4.
And Rav Leo referenced shiurim that he listens to, and both of us, and together we felt, let's go to Israel for one night. Let's go just sit, to be there for someone who it turns out is learning with us online and answering that call, and he's done it so much since then.
Rabbi Schachter has many midos that one can emulate. But I think one that has come forward, something that I have seen and witnessed, especially since October 7th, is the feeling that he has for the tsar, for the pain and suffering of our brothers and sisters in Israel.
Hi, Jen. This is Shay Schachter from New York. I just got a hold of your number, and I don't expect you to respond or even to listen, but I'm so pained by what your family is going through. I have no way to offer any words of nechama, any words of comfort, and I just wanted to reach out to let you know how much we cry together with you, how much we embrace you, how much we love you, how much we hope that your family will have the opportunity to be together in happier times, and that we're always here for you. So feel free, this is my number, and I look forward to having the opportunity maybe to meet you in person someday.
I had been listening to a shiurim just on YIW Torah or online until really he sent me a message during Shiva. And I remember coming down from the stairs during Shiva saying, I got a message from Rav Shay. And that was it. And somehow the relationship really fostered from there.
We were in Israel in December, and we overlapped with Rav Shay. And so I said to him, Rav Shay, if you're doing anything interesting or unique when you're there, please let us know. So one day on my phone, a WhatsApp appears and it says, Migdal Dalet, Tel Aviv, 32nd floor. So I say to my husband, okay, if Rav Shay says that's a unique experience, there are released hostages waiting to speak to him. And he sits huddled individually with the hostages.
It was last year in Tel Shomer Hospital. Mia was the first to meet Shay. He was very, very open to see what Mia is going through.
There are thousands of rabbis in Israel. What is it that he is offering that is uniquely Rabbi Shay? And I see the way he listens. Nobody listens like that.
He was all the time so understanding and so sensitive to the situation.
I think Mia Shem said, you're the first person who actually heard me, even though she had spoken to so many people.
We created a real bond. I mean, Shay is my family now.
I know with certainty I am not the only person he reaches out to. but there's something that's very special that he makes you feel that you are important. That even though I am sure there are hundreds of people on his roster of people he checks in on or sends messages to, he makes each person feel special.
A lot of Jewish communities came to visit us, and they heard that we cannot be in Shlomit, and they wanted to support us, and they wanted to listen to the stories. One of the first mishlachot that came to visit us in Kramim Hotel was the mishlachat of Rav Shay, Schachter. And they asked me to come and to tell the story of my husband, Aviad, and the other three heroes, Reuven, Uriel, and Bechor. And I remember that Rav Shay was sitting next to me, and I'm speaking, and he's crying. And I was looking at him, and you cannot ignore his sensitivity. It was something that touched my heart.
The men were there for over a year, treating, fallen soldiers again and again, and it was very hard. And I wanted to give something meaningful for the wives. And Rav Shay helped me with the fundraising, a gift that each family got, a Kiddush cup or candlesticks. It gives koch. It's easier for the wife to send her husband again to another week of funerals in her base and a lot of pain.
Once they go back to Israel, their lives are changed from walking into the Young Israel of Woodmere, all because of Rav Shay. They feel the love from him and from Rina and from our whole community, and they see that outside of Israel, there are people who really care. They really, really care, and they just want to do what's best for them.
In the middle of all these hostages returning, and it's very emotional. There's a lot of difficult emotions. We're excited to welcome them back. You see the state that they're in. There's a lot of joy and there's a lot of pain, and my students were struggling with it. And I said, wait 1 second. And I went next door. My class is on the 7th floor, right next door to the Beit Midrash. I went next door. There's Rav Shay, sitting and learning. I said, can you just come into my classroom for a minute? Came next door and he spoke to them, and you should have seen the room. I mean, just everybody was just hanging on to his every word. And then he left and he said, it was so nice meeting you all, I'll have to come back. And he literally walked out, and I think everyone in one voice, there was a communal wow.
After October 7th, his relationships that he's made and all the chesed that he's done, he brings it into the shul just so that we never forget. We're constantly being reminded by either a speaker or a chesed. We feel very, very connected because of Rav Shay. They consider him their Rav from so far away since October 7th, so it's really beautiful.
My bracha to Rabbi and Rebbe Schachter would be that Hashem should bless them, that they should be able to continue being the tremendous mashpiyim, true influencers. We talk about influences in this world. Who are the real influencers? The real influences are people and individuals like Rabbi and Rebbe Schachter, day in, day out, giving leiv v'nefesh, their souls, in order to see to it that the members of the Young Israel Woodmere can have a more engaged relationship with Hashem, His Torah, and His people.
Hope that you have many more years here, successful, keep inspiring everyone, and having השפעה on them.
שי, אני רוצה להגיד לך, תודה שנפגשנו. אתה אדם מיוחד במינו. אני אוהבת אותך כמו משפחה, ואני באמת מאחלת לך ולרינה היקרה שתמשיכו להפיץ אור ושמחה בעולם, ושתמשיכו לעשות רק טוב ושיהיה לכם טוב.
I had my transplant in November of 2022, and Baruch Hashem, this past October, we had our beautiful, miraculous little girl. Her name is Eliana Emuna. I would give a bracha to our daughter that she should be zocha to have rabbis and rebbitzins in her life like we do. Of course, we'll share Rabbi Schachter and Rina with her.
The dedication, the love, the warmth, the strength that they bring to us, Hashem should just give over to them to continue their beautiful work, to continue every aspect and every detail of their life with smiles and with happiness and with shalom.
When I was bar mitzvah, the whole celebration was that my parents gave Kiddush on Shabbos morning. And a lot of people came from different areas in the Bronx to walk to the shul. So people were asking each other, what are you doing here? You don't live in this neighborhood. They said, Rabbi Schachter's son is having a bar mitzvah. So they told it to my father when they had the bar mitzvah. So my father spoke and he said, he hopes the day will come that he'll be known as Rabbi Schachter's father. So I'm already known as Rabbi Schachter's father. Baruch Hashem.
My bracha to Rav Shay and Rina. You should keep up your wonderful work, your holy work, for many more wonderful years to come. And my bracha to the entire community. I've spent more time in the Young Israel of Woodmere than any other shul in the world besides my own shul in Ramot. And truly, I feel almost as a member of your shul. We should all be zeicher after 15 months of pain and suffering and challenge in the Holy Land. We should be zeicher to shalom and shalva. V'natati shalom ba'aretz u'shraftem ve'ein machriv. And Jews throughout the entire world should only know peace and harmony, and we should all be zeicher together to see Pnei Moshiach Tzidkenu b'meiru v'yomeinu.